he was just born to climb. Yeah, there's not many other things he could have been amazing at apart from maybe being like a jockey or something.
Seeing Steve climb, it's like we're just a bunch of club runners and he's like the Olympic athlete of Britain.
He's in the stratosphere compared to everybody else. He's been doing it for the best part of 10 years without any sustained competition.
All of his routes are obviously really impressive. They're just so far above what anyone else in Britain is doing.
You can hear him start to grunt and we're thinking, it must be hard because Steve's grunting. Steve never grunts, it's like, it really must be hard.
It doesn't matter what the hold's like, he will just grab it and carry on climbing, because he is, obviously his fingers are so stupidly strong.
Fortunately, Steve never made it into the saddle, but his harness has taken him through all aspects of the free climbing game, from hard-trad head pointing, alpine adventure, blank slate slabs, and some pretty nifty bouldering. But if you're talking about Steve McClure, then you're talking steep and crimpy limestone. His tick list now makes for some fairly unbelievable reading. 258 A's, 124 8A pluses, 64 8Bs, 24 8B pluses, 2 of which were on site, 22 8Cs, 7 8C pluses, and 6 routes at the magic grade of 9A. Now that is a lot of climbing. Steve's first 9A was Mutation at the legendary Raven Tour, established in '98 and still the Peak District's hardest climb.
Going out, getting some pictures going out left and like cracker. Yeah. Couldn't make that work, it was so early. Set me up a little bit. Oh, that is rubbish. Oh, is it? Yeah, disappointing's the word, isn't it? I think that's the worst hold I've ever seen on a route. There's just nothing there. I mean, it's like... it comes to there on my fingertips. Like if it was a foothold, it would be a bad foothold. Oh no, this hold's terrible as well. And doing this top wall feels like as hard as evolution. I mean, I know you can't really tell from like one quick play, but the holds are so small. I think it was a gust of wind blew me up it. You basically do pretty much all of evolution to the last quick draw. And you've got a couple of difficult setup moves leading to what turned out to be the Red Point Crux, which is a really weird kind of throw over move. You're slapping over with your right hand for this pinch, and it doesn't look very difficult, but when you actually come to do it, it just feels wrong. It's all timing, it's really dynamic. When you get it wrong, you feel as though you're a million miles away. You do this dynamic slap over move. Grab this pinch with your left hand, and then you've got a difficult hand change. Change hands, change to your right hand, clip. And you reach for this tiny, tiny edge, which It's not that bad, it's just a bit thin and a bit small. Long reach from that bad edge to another bad edge, and then the final move is a long pop for a small pocket. I think that's the most difficult move on the route, to be honest. You've really got to hit the hole just right, or you're out of there.
I used to be psyched by grids, for sure. It's a marker. You can tell when you're improving. Maybe I always dreamt that I would maybe climb a certain level, achieve that, and then it just didn't matter anymore.
That was Britain's second route of the 9A standard, but it wasn't until Steve climbed the world-famous Northern Lights that his name was suddenly thrust into the limelight. Steve who? Steve McClure. Climbing icon Ben Moon was the first to try Northern Lights in the mid-1990s. At the time, Ben was one of the UK's top sport climbers. Had he done it then, it would have been the hardest route in the world. After 3 years of sustained effort, Ben was defeated by injury and persistent bad luck. Then another of the UK's top sport climbers, Malcolm Smith, took the route on in 1999. Like Ben, he got close, but no cigar.
It was so big in everybody's mind. For me, it was such a famous route. You know, I'd seen it all in books and on videos, and it went from being something that I'd never have even imagined I would try to something that I was the only person to have done. It was like, that journey was just massive. And it was the biggest tick. Not the hardest, but psychologically it was the biggest. It's basically, start is alright, not very hard. A bit mossy at the moment, and then it just gets instantly massively hard. In fact, probably the crux is between that first good bolt and the third bolt. Then it's a kind of crimpy section, long moves, but it just stays hard, like just slightly easier than the start, all the way to the top. I can remember when I did it was so like really sequencey, loads of like changing hands, undercut and then change it to a gaston and then switch that to a gaston and back to an undercut. So it took me ages to work it out. And when I finally worked it out, it was the only way I could do it. I could only just do it. Climbing's continuous, which is good. You know, it's really continuous climbing. It doesn't break really at any point. There's no obvious rest. It's just go all the way to the top. So that makes it really good. Lots of sort of changing your hands around, lots of different kind of moves. There's one particular hold and you've got to kind of squidge your fingers in it to get any purchase. It's really hard to get your fingers in, and there's a long reach off that to a sort of like flat hole you can kind of chalk up on. And then there's a move after that where I spent 5 days falling off the same move, and it's this move off a big flat hold, which when you first get it you think, oh, that's a good hold. You've got to reach all the way over, and I kept falling off. I kept getting this hold, and every time I kept getting there I would just kind of try and pull through and just fall straight off. And it had to be dynamic, and you had to kind of flick yourself into it. So it took 5 days of falling off that spot, which is quite disheartening. For me, it was such a famous route. You know, I'd seen it all in books and on videos, and you know, Ben had been trying it. I'd seen it in the press for years, and just thought, whoa, imagine how amazing that'll be when it gets done. And then there I was, clipping the belay. It was like, Wow, how cool is that?
With Steve's newfound success, sponsored trips to the more exotic were to become a big part of Steve's life as a climber. Let's catch up with Steve at a star-studded festival in the south of France. Cest Chic. No? Okay.
Bonjour, hello, Cest Chic, welcome to the 2007 Calatibel Festival du Climbing. Access to this special cliff is normally restricted, as it's a very special place. Look, on the outside looks like a cliff. On the inside is a huge cave with many kinky features. Zoop zoop, I like it. Can see one of the stars, Linil, legend, Linil. Yes, she is trying not to be noticed. Bonne chance, Lin. So, possibly the world's hardest party animals is Dave Graham and Chris Hammer. Great guys, strong and great and strong and very nice hair, I like it. You can only imagine how hard they could climb if only they could get to bed before 4 in the morning. We also have a more serious side to tonight's entertainment, some very hard unclimbed routes. Oh yes. First up for this support FC is Daniel Dulac. Let's see if the crowd can help him out. Come on guys, give him some encouragement. A little too much. And from England is Steve McClure. Great guy, great climber. Again, not so great haircut. Let's see if Steve can make the first ascent of the HC. Not this time, maybe he'll try later. Laurent is French, I like him, so handsome with his hairy chest, my god, he's so good. Yes, I think he's done it, that's the longest fall we've had tonight. Have a bonus point and get your shirt on. Here we are, this is sticky, slinky, sticky, greasy twofold at the 8B. Let's see, is Chris Sharma first up, can he do it? No, of course he can't, he's already had 6 beers. Who's next? Oh my god, it's the steel man himself from Sheffield. His fingers were made in a forge, you know. It's Steve McClure. Yes, going well, Steve. Looking good. I like the way the lights said. Very good. Beginning to change my attitude towards you. Steve McClure. He's done it, Steve McClure. 8B flash. Unbelievable at night. I always thought it would be good in the dark. Au revoir mes amis et bonne chance, hein?
Rolling.
Malham Cove is Britain's preeminent limestone cliff. That's what it says here anyway. And in May of 2007, Steve put up Overshadow, the long-standing and uncompleted extension to Overnight Sensation. Steve gave the route 9A+, Britain's joint hardest sport route to date. Just to the right is Steve's 2003 test piece, Rain Shadow. The route tackles the largest section of Malham's huge roof. Now we've seen a few of Steve's routes, we've got to ask him, come on Steve, which one's the best?
Probably Rain Shadow. I think that's probably the best route. It's got such good rock, really varied, takes an amazing line, and it might be the best route I've ever done. That would be a big thing to say, wouldn't it? Rain Dogs is like an amazing 8A. It's such a good 8A, and everybody knows that as soon as they try it. And the extension above it, it just gets better.
Steve's obviously in pretty good shape, but in climbing terms he's by no means the strongest. I think Steve's biggest asset on the rock is not his biceps, but his brains.
You can climb in two different ways. You can be super powerful and burl your way up it, or you can be super technical and find the perfect body position to make every move as easy as possible. That's the way I try and climb. I haven't got the build or the time to get super strong, so I'll try and use my head if possible.
I think one of Steve's main strengths is that it's his mental sort of attitude. He's incredibly tenacious, and obviously he's strong and fit and all those things. You know, he isn't the strongest person out there, and possibly not the fittest person. He's got this like grim determination, and he will not let go of a hold, and he will sort of carry on until there is no possibility, you know, he can carry on anymore. And I think that's what you need to be right up there.
Unjustified, he did Unjustified, which is like an early 8C, and then he went and did Austrian Oak, but it's like an 8B. Well, he on-sighted that, then he come off and then finished by on-sighting this other 8A. So it's like an 8C, blasted it, on-sight's an 8B, and then on-sight's an 8A. That's some people's life's dream, to do all those routes.
Well, he's an engineer, isn't he? So he's got that sort of engineer mind, way of looking at things and breaking it down and thinking a bit laterally and stuff.
I think it's better than Overshadow, to be honest. Trying this now compared to doing that route 2 months ago, I can just tell this is miles easier.
And he's just got the motivation to keep doing it, and that's what's absolutely outstanding about him. Because there's, you know, you think back in the early 80s to the early 90s, you had like some Moffat and Moon, and there was Dawn and all that lot. They were all pushing each other to try and get the next level. But Steve's had nobody. He's had absolutely nobody at that level. He's just done it all out there on his own. He's definitely the technicalist in the country as far as routes are concerned.
The upper wall is just such good climbing. It's great, you know. I can't believe that it hasn't been attempted more by the top climbers in Britain and the top climbers from around the world. You know, they've got to get over here and get on it.
So for a bit of contrast, let's watch somebody else climbing. This is Jordan Byers, Burnley's hardest climbing window cleaner. And it's worth noting that in a recent bouldering competition, Jordan was placed 3 positions higher than Steve.
No, I've definitely not got the bouldering power that the boulderers have got. No way. I don't expect to ever have that kind of power, really. I don't think I even need that sort of power because the routes I'm doing are generally a bit longer.
I'm not even.
Did quite a few routes at Malham, got ticking through, you know, 8A pluses, 8Bs, and I thought it was about time to get on an 8B plus. I jumped on Power Ranger and had over 10 days on it maybe, and quite a lot of red points every time I go. I always seem to 3 or 4 red points on it a day, and really annoyed me because every time I went I just sort of fell off at the same place. You know, I thought I'd made progress because I was getting a move higher every red point, and that was it. I just kept on hitting this wall and just falling and falling and falling.
Oh man! It's all wrong. There's something wrong. No!
It might have been an old issue of sport climbing in Britain in one of the On the Edges, and there's a little footnote there saying done by Steve McClure in 45 minutes. I thought that would be a good one. You know, obviously he didn't on-site it, so it's obviously not that easy. But you know, that's the one for me. But it's taken a bit longer, you know.
Come on, Jordan.
No! Oh no!
You know, if this man can do it in 45 minutes, it can't be that hard. But you know, it might take me 45 years or something to do it, what one man can do in 45 minutes.
Well, the magic numbers are almost up. But what's the future hold for a man who's continually set new standards in sport climbing? Can he climb any harder? Can there possibly be room for any more?
There's definitely room for more. There's always room for more. I think I've got a little way to go. It's motivation, that's the key thing. You've got to really want to do these routes. If you really want to do them, then you'll push through it and you'll take it to the next level. In terms of reaching your physical limit, It's all about pushing yourself mentally to get to that limit. So this is an extension I'm working on at the moment, and it extends this route which climbs up to that sort of ledge you can see down there. That's an 8B plus called Northern Exposure. It finishes kind of in the middle of the wall, to be honest. As soon as you get to that ledge, things turn very nasty very quickly. Okay, now this is the rubbish rest. I wonder if I can remember how to do it. Yep, it's still rubbish. It's kind of something. Oh, maybe that's a bit better. It's pretty marginal, to be honest. But as soon as you press on, you're into little crimps, big long moves. It's a good challenge. I think this is kind of almost like the ultimate in crimpy, sustained routes. And it's kind of my bag, so I shouldn't complain. It's kind of similar to Northern Lights, but even worse. It's harder. Harder moves, smaller holds, longer. I mean, this is a hole typical of the type of climbing we're looking at. Pretty little. Another little crimp out here, that's kind of a jug really on this route. Clip from that, and then it moves up some little spiky things, and then the crux, I think, is kind of up there even further. So you're doing a lot of climbing, and it's kind of hard. Dick. Oh no, I've just broken the key hold. Absolutely critical handhold. Okay. Oh, bollocks. Oh God. Nothing left of that hold now. I knew I shouldn't have stood on it. Been eating too many pies maybe. Okay. And this last move is well hard when you're tired and you don't want it to be well hard. Awkward move. Oh, into a soggy hold. Just hanging around, taking the view, comparing it directly to the routes that I've just done, which are like 9A, maybe 9A plus. This feels kind of at least as hard. It wouldn't surprise me if this was actually even harder than the route I just did at Malham. Tiny holds, quite short moves. The Malham ones have been more like big moves, reasonable holds. This is kind of more my style, to be honest. Once you get up into that kind of level, you know, your own personal max level, you just kind of lose track of how hard anything is. It's kind of cutting edge, I think. It's certainly, I don't know if it's as hard as I can climb, but it's not far off. a bit taxing, that last bit. Awesome, awesome climbing though. Jug of glory at the end. I just love climbing. I just love going out and trying as hard as I can.